As we all know, British Minister David Frost says he fears that the Brexit rules for Northern Ireland will cause problems. And now for Queen Elizabeth II's 70th anniversary of the throne next year. A nationwide tree planting campaign could not take place in Northern Ireland so far, wrote Frost in the newspaper Mail on Sunday. And the reason? According to the rules negotiated with the EU, the proposed English oaks may not be delivered from Great Britain to the northern region in Ireland. British trees had been brought to Northern Ireland without any problems by the end of 2020, and as far as I know, they have not been felled since, wrote Frost. Oaks and other trees have not been allowed to be imported into Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK since January due to different phytosanitary regulations in the EU and Great Britain. In Northern Ireland, the rules of the EU customs union and the internal market apply. That was what London and Brussels had agreed, and Johnson signed. This is to prevent a hard border with the EU member Ireland and new conflicts in the former Civil War region. The Brexit minister threatened again to suspend the special rules, the Northern Ireland Protocol. There is currently a momentum for a negotiated solution, though. However, Frost tightened the tone again. He said, "Once again, threats are being made about the way we treat part of our own country," he wrote. Well, Frost negotiated the Brexit treaty himself, by the way. In the inner Irish border town of Carrickcarnan, several supporters of the rules demonstrated on Saturday. They warned that peace on the island of Ireland would be jeopardized if London suspends the agreement reached with the EU. Both the UK and the EU recognized the special circumstances on the island of Ireland at a very early stage in the negotiations on the withdrawal agreement. They recognized the need to uphold the 1998 Good Friday Agreement, avoid a hard border on the island of Ireland, and protect North-South cooperation. That solution was found in the form of the Ireland and Northern Ireland Protocol. It avoids a hard border between Ireland and the North, enables smooth economic processes throughout the island, and upholds the Good Friday Agreement in all its aspects. And it ensures the integrity of the EU's internal market for goods and all the guarantees it offers in relation to consumer protection, human and animal health, and the fight against fraud and illegal trade. The protocol on Ireland and Northern Ireland was conceived as a stable and lasting solution and runs in parallel with an agreement on the future partnership. Its substantive legal provisions have been in effect since January 1st, 2021. The essential elements of the protocol are compliance with EU rules. Since the end of the transition period, Northern Ireland has been subject to a limited number of EU rules related to the internal market for goods and the customs union. For example, the Union Customs Code applies to all goods brought into or from Northern Ireland. The necessary checks and controls must take place at entry points on goods entering Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK or any other third country. This also means that in the implementation of the protocol in relation to Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom must ensure, among other things, that relevant sanitary and phytosanitary controls, so-called SPS controls, are carried out. EU tariffs apply to goods brought into Northern Ireland from any other part of the UK or any other third country unless there is no risk of the goods entering the EU. The protocol assumes that all goods entering Northern Ireland from a third country, that means another part of the UK or other third countries, are at risk of entering the Union. Exceptionally, such goods may be classified as goods not in danger of entering the Union if the goods concerned are not commercially processed in Northern Ireland and, additional, in the decision of the Joint Committee on Goods where there is no risk, meet the criteria set out for their treatment as goods where there is no risk. If, on the basis of these criteria, it is determined that goods originating in any part of the UK other than Northern Ireland can be classified as non-hazardous goods, no tariffs will be imposed. If, on the basis of these criteria, it is found that goods from any other third country can be considered as non-hazardous goods, the United Kingdom duty rates will apply. The application and implementation of the protocol are the sole responsibility of the UK authorities in relation to Northern Ireland. In order to fulfill their responsibilities under Article 12 of the protocol, the EU institutions and bodies need to be able to monitor the implementation of the protocol by the UK authorities. Article 12 therefore provides for a union presence in all transposition actions by the UK authorities. Joint Committee decision lays down the practical working arrangement for the exercise of the rights of representatives of the Union, as referred to in Article 12 of the Protocol. The Ireland and Northern Ireland Protocol provides a new consent mechanism that gives the Northern Ireland Parliamentary Assembly decisive influence on the long-term application of relevant EU legislation in Northern Ireland. This consent mechanism concerns the application of EU law to goods and tariffs, the internal electricity market, VAT and state aid, as currently foreseen by the protocol. Specifically, this means that the Parliamentary Assembly can vote for or against the further application of relevant EU legislation with a simple majority 4 years after the start of the application of the protocol on January 1st. In the latter case, the protocol would expire 2 years later. The Assembly can then vote every 4 years on the further application of the relevant EU law. If the Assembly votes in favor of the further application of the relevant EU rules across all communities, it can only be voted on again after 8 years. A good 5 years after the Brexit vote, there are still bitter struggles over exceptions to the rules for Britain's exit from the EU. Great Britain's exit from the EU was officially completed at the beginning of 2020. The British are no longer part of the political community and the common internal market. However, the position of the British region of Northern Ireland in the new relationship between London and Brussels continues to cause considerable tensions. Great Britain is, as we all know, now pressing for renegotiations, and the EU rejects this. In the dispute over tariffs for Northern Ireland, EU Commission Vice President Maroš Šefčovič has recently presented a number of compromise proposals within the framework of the protocol. According to this, checks on meat, dairy products and other foods from Great Britain could be reduced by 80%. This is to minimize the difficulties in UK trade created by the Northern Ireland Protocol. What bothers the UK side of the Northern Ireland Agreement is that border checks are now necessary between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has therefore insisted on renegotiating since July 2021. The current regulations for the movement of goods with Northern Ireland are, in his view, unsustainable. According to the government in London, Brussels must seriously examine the British proposals, which are none but renegotiating. In the dispute with the EU, the British government obviously wanted to distract attention from domestic political problems, said the Green politician Anna Cavazzini, member of the European Parliament and chairwoman of the Committee on the Internal Market and Consumer Protection. She already said that in October, and she is still so right. The British government is currently under pressure. As you know, there are studies on mismanagement in the COVID crisis. There was the gas and petrol crisis, which are, by the way, also consequences of Brexit. And don't forget the scandal of corruption at the moment. Anna Cavazzini emphasized that the motivation behind the Northern Ireland Protocol was a very important one, namely to maintain peace on the Irish island. The Northern Ireland Protocol is the basis and prerequisite for the trade agreement with Great Britain. This is exactly how the British government negotiated it. And the European parliamentarian David McAllister from the EPP also saw it that way. The Northern Ireland Protocol is part of the solution to a problem. The real problem is the hard Brexit. That means the decision of the British government to leave the EU internal market and the customs union. That was not on the ballot in 2016. Should the British government terminate the Northern Ireland Protocol, serious consequences such as infringement proceedings, could be threatened. It is important to avoid escalation. The EU has a responsibility to protect the integrity of its internal market. And that's also said by McAllister, who is, among other things, chairman on the Committee on Foreign Affairs. And the European Court of Justice, the ECJ, has a special role to play here. It is the last resort when it comes to EU internal market law. With Northern Ireland part of the customs union and the internal market, there is no other option but to apply EU law there. London wants to change that, but that was not part of the offer by EU Vice Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič to negotiate the role of the European Court of Justice, and it never will be. McAllister advised the UK government to listen to what civil society and businesses in Northern Ireland have to say. The Northern Irish economy is pushing for pragmatic, flexible solutions. There are also already positive voices from Northern Ireland for Šefčovič's new EU proposal. There they recognize the potential to belong to both the UK and the EU internal market. The UK government, as I said, has also repeatedly threatened the EU to suspend the protocol with Article 16. Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol provides that certain provisions of the agreement can be overridden in the event of serious economic, social, or environmental difficulties, but there's nothing there that wasn't foreseen when it was signed. Critics of the Northern Ireland Protocol are generally of the opinion that the regulations create a de facto border within Great Britain and that the supply of Northern Ireland suffers. Well, reality looks different. The agreed goods checks between Northern Ireland and the rest of Great Britain actually led in parts to difficulties in trading individual products. Checks and customs formalities take time in places where there was previously no time expended. There are also problems with some delivery of mail. But in addition, supporters of the union with Great Britain and Northern Ireland feel disconnected from the rest of the country. But it's only about their feelings. The practical problems in implementing the Northern Ireland Protocol are being exploited by the unionists to express their opposition and to increase tensions. But in reality, there are no big disadvantages for Northern Ireland. At the moment, there are big advantages there for society and for businesses in Northern Ireland because they are the only ones to live in both worlds and to be in two internal markets. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.